and then you like hit the wall, but you need to drink it all day long. You know it? You can stop at like 6 and still not have you wake up in the middle of the night, you know? I need to drink water though. What are you looking at the TV? Oh, the commercial, the ad. $15 a month for the first 12 months.
That's pretty expensive.
Ma, I think your mind is still in the 80s. on like as far as like how much things cost, you know? I found the rental agreement between you and Mr. McGraw for the 1-bedroom cabin that we lived in on Front Street, Shasta Way. Yeah, Shasta Way. It's not even there anymore. They tore it down years ago. It's just a big open field. It's gone, man. You know, if it weren't for memories about things and pictures and, you know, it's just hearsay. History is just all hearsay. All right, let's do this. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these talks on the way I feel about things. I think it's important that people talk about the way they feel about things. I think a lot of people don't know why they feel the way they feel about things. And I think that all human beings are like little puzzles, and if people really wanted to, they could figure it out. I know I wanted to figure out why I do certain behaviors and act the way I do and have the patterns that I have. I've been looking for answers my whole life. You know, I just want to live a viable, happy, productive life. And sometimes my old programming clashes with my new knowing, and, well, I sort it out here. It's also a history book because I talk about current events here. I talk about things I read in the media, social media. I deleted my Twitter freaking app today. Done with that. Done with a lot of stuff. I did the last couple days were kind of rough for me, and it's like I listen to other people's points of view, and I don't appreciate them. I don't appreciate their points of view. Unsubscribe. What a baby, huh? How very immature is that? Ah, you made me. Anyway. I'll still listen. I'm like, nope, don't like it. One of them was Molly McCord. That one was today. And these are my interpretations, okay? Because other people listen to her talks, and then she's just, oh my God, you're so wonderful. She's one of those doing a Sedona retreat. I got my opinions about those folks. Anyway, you can't change a fucking tire, but you can go stay in an Airbnb, spend $300-$500 a night, and talk about love and light when there's fucking people that don't have socks and stuff, you know. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's absurd. The new age. Just more of the same. The old age is new age, just rebranded. Anyway. So, she was talking about how this is my interpretation. Understand? Everything I talk about is my interpretation on how I think. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind here. I'm just, what I do try to get people to hear, you know, is that not everybody thinks the same. And I think way outside of the what's a box. I think way outside that. And I just, you know, like me or not, I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here on this planet to make friends. It would have been nice. I'm not good at it. It's not something that it's like, if it happens, great. But I mean, there's a lot of years I spent real sad because I couldn't freaking find any friends, and now it's like, whatever, I don't even care anymore. Whatever, I don't even care. I'll just keep talking to myself on a little screen on my laptop and living my life. Local. So, telling stories about that. People I meet along the way. Anyway, she's talking about basically, you know, I hear that a lot. You know, you don't really have to. All you got to do is support people, you know, and people, you know, you don't got to save anybody. So you people that you have that save people, you like that mentality that you have to save people. That's just old program. I'm like, or old, you know, an old story, old something, you know, it's just, and I'm just like, why? Every religion, I'm not a religious person. I just dabble in a lot of stuff. And all that stuff that all says take care of people, be good to people, treat people how you want to be treated, you know? So how many people can ask themselves, if they were on the street, would, you know, you see somebody on the street, you walk past them, if you were on the street, would you want someone to walk right past you and not even acknowledge you or anything? Sometimes people just want to be heard. Well, Marge, it's too dangerous. It's so dangerous. It's all about discernment, right? Mostly people are cool. If you're cool to them, they'll be cool to you. So, I wrote a comment on there. Says you don't gotta save people. That's what you know, it's like, let them be them, you know. Thoughts and prayers, that's all you gotta do. That's the stupidest, lamest, freaking spiritual bypassing bullarchy that I hear and I've heard it for decades. Just thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. You know, people don't have any freaking brain power after that. You can't come up with anything thoughtful to do, you know, to offer a lot of comfort to another human being. Now, how many people really actually pray when they say thoughts and prayer? I mean, not me. I think it's BS. I do. Last night my earth angel, she started coming down with the cold, and I got worried. I got worried because, like, the older people get, the harder it is to combat ailment and stuff like that. So I wake up all night long. I just toss and turn. I gotta turn over real slow and stuff, and sleep real deliberate because I got dogs and they're old and there's not a lot of room. And in the oven by myself, I'd flip over, and you know, that's how they break. That's how things get hurt. So I gotta be extra careful. And every time I woke up last night, I just be like, I said a prayer I pray for healing, to just keep her from even getting sick. And got to talk to her today, and it worked. Well, it probably helped. There's more contributing factors. See, she got in the solution. She started feeling bad, and so she just inundated her body with goodness and went to bed and was able to sleep for several hours. And another lady I talked to got to sleep, or not, I didn't talk to. I listened to her talks on the tube. And she was talking about how she got to sleep for like 14 hours. And she's an Aries. Like, I think we're close. We have a lot of the same placements because I think our birthdays are close. But I don't know. That's probably why we'd never hang out, really. Because I know how I am with my placements, and if she's like that, I mean, she's not going to want to hang out with me as much as I would want to hang out with her, probably. I mean, she's a nice lady. She's real smart. It's just, I don't know. Not everybody's energetically matched, is all. There's nothing, no harm, no foul. So, anyway, what else was I talking about? Last couple days, things that have happened. That's weird. Oh, all this stuff. But I wonder what other. By profession, I was in IT for a number of years, and I understand. I mean, people have. Think of how many people have the same device, but they're having an entirely different experience on their device. And they used to do that. I used to work at a company. I don't know if it's called the same thing. It was headquartered out in Omaha, and it had like all these campuses, had all these different buildings. So us IT tech support, we had to go from building to building. I had a really weird boss, man. Like, talk about narcissist. He would have one week he had me move from and we're IT, so we got to take all of our computers and all of our equipment with us, and then we got to put it in our own personal vehicles and drive it across it was just nonsense. And like I was in one building for like 2 days, and he called and said, hey, we're gonna have you go to this, and he just do these things like just in a whim, just like dance puppet dance. It was the most bizarre thing. I've seen these people my whole entire life. It just trips me out that we're surrounded by a company full of all these other people, and this is the behavior that's allowed. That was a company they gave. I had that like terrible, like, and he wasn't even bad as the other boss, Tig Leffler. So it was Tig Leffler. That dude was a little freaking creep, man. He was all slime, had like really bad, oh man, bad energy. And I only worked there for a short time, and they were divvying out raises, and it was a sip, so it was a big kitty. And then all the bros got the most of it, and then they divvied it out, little crumbs for make sure everybody gets some. So I got a raise. It was like a 3% raise. I told them to keep it. Don't even bother. That's insulting to give somebody a 3-cent raise. Don't you think? I said, nah, I'm good. I told them that. I don't need it. Just leave it what it is. That's stupid. It's just like people do these things, and they just they're all power plays, and I won't, whatever, dude. Anyway, so we had these programs that, because they had this company, the service was that it provided was line groups. So they had these people sit in like lines of computer, and then they would represent companies, a lot of credit cards. You can call to sign up for a credit card. There's like a ESPN line group, a lot of credit cards, American Express, I think. And then they had like these odds and end businesses. They used to also house I'm getting hot. I just took a hot shower, and now the heater kicked on, so I gotta take off stuff. They used to house, like, when you called American Idol to vote, which was the dumbest thing. I mean, I've been witnessing the decline of freaking the psychology and mentality of and moral fiber of freaking America for decades. Anyway, so that's better. Where was I? Line group. So we had programs on these computers. It was pretty locked down to what they could do. I mean, they could like go to the internet, check their email, stuff like that. They could go to some places, but there's a lot of places that they weren't allowed. The IT, we there wasn't a lot of outside traffic. We'll just say that. And because it causes problems when people bring the outside world into the company, so you just leave it out mostly. And so you get viruses and stuff like that. Anyway, so we had software on these machines that at the end of the shift, it would re-image, it would wipe, and then you come back to a fresh image the next morning. And I would work on these people's computers, and now they're all the same, but every person that you sat down and everybody was having a different experience. Every single person. No two people on the same line did their desktop on their computer, because everybody has their own personal preference. They put their pet personality in the technology. They make things how they like it. This needs to go here. This needs to go here. You know, they figure out how to make things how they like it. Even if it's locked down, it's kind of how this human spirit works. You know, we're just electricity. We're driven by electricity. We're no different than freaking static in the air. We pick up ideas. I had an idea today. That's why I called this talk Phoenix. I had kind of a peculiar epiphany. Kind of tripped me out actually a little bit. As you know, the Phoenix, rise of the Phoenix. God, there's so many tornadoes. North Carolina just got 2. I got a new disaster alert. That's another thing I quit. I quit freaking. And these things that I quit, they don't care that I quit them. I do. That the disaster prediction app. I had that app for years. I don't know when it came out. I had it for years. It would, there's an earthquake came up, something would happen, it'd pop up. This one, there's this new one I have. It has more stuff on it. Doesn't have just earthquakes and space weather. Actually, I don't think it has space weather at all. But I need to not pay attention and focus more around here, because I've been listening to his videos and stuff, and I'm not being present. I ain't being present. I need to be present, because it's making me irritable because I'm not being present. And so I play along for a little while. It's $2.99 a year, whatever. That's cool. I don't have a lot of freaking income. That's why I can't be all willy-nilly, because it's not just me, it's Mom too, so I can't, I got to do stuff that benefits both of us. And so I freaking so that I had, and then we get an email. There's a notice when I went to open up the app to see something in it, and then there was a notification that said with all these instructions, and I was like, oh man, here we go. See, because IT is so fallible, it's so consistent. This is why I believe that it's so divine. Either you're going to be able to use your stuff, or the timeline's over. Either you're going to get to continue. One day I'm not going to be on YouTube anymore. I got a lot of playlists though. I got stuff on, you look at Heyoka on Pinterest. I got every video I've ever posted, I posted there. I don't think I'm done with Twitter, I think. But I have a lot of videos there. LinkedIn, I got a bunch of videos there. I got 4-5 Pinterest playlists on Pinterest. So, my videos are out there. But anyway, I played along. I did what they did. I sent the guy the email, sent a screenshot. I said, I wonder how many people are going to stop using their app because there's going to be discrepancies between, like theoretically how it's programmed to work and the real outcome of the end user, because every end user is having a different experience and they're different tech levels, and I have a very high tech level. And and so all you gotta do is this famous all you gotta do is click, boom, you're there. Click, boom, dead. What? How come this I'm not having the same experience that they're saying I should have? Right? I was great at tech support because I could get into the experience of my end user. Yeah. So I was pretty good at it. Anyway, so they say, okay, all you got to go here, put in the last day of your subscription and then choose a new one. And the most expensive one, now I'm going from $2.99 a year to $1.99 a month. I said, nope, it's been great. Thanks a lot. I'm sure that there's more people that have the same kind of product out, because I see people that get they take screenshots of stuff, weather notifications, things like that, earthquake notifications, people I know in California put it on social media, and they all look different. All the notifications are, and they all come in at different times. If events happen and data hits, shouldn't it all boom happen at the same time? No, it's all different timelines. I told the guy at the store today. I say, hey, you don't say you. I say when I go to the market, I pass through. I try to educate people everywhere I go, and this time it's well, usually in the produce department it has to do with Haas, avocados, HAAS is what it was for years, so many years. I went to Mexico, Haas avocados, HAAS. Now it's HASS. All right. I told the guy, I said, you know what I think Mandela effects are? I said, I think this group puts out this version, and this group puts out this version, and both groups go, watch the dummies argue about it. And then both groups kind of deny, ignore, deny the existence of either, and just watch them play. People that aren't sadistic and weird, that don't do really weird stuff, they really have no idea the mentality of the weird stuff that people really, really do. They play games. Yeah, go watch it. Go look up a movie. Go watch a movie. God, all these obscure movies now, man, they fell through the cracks. Go watch that Trading Places movie, early movie with Dan Aykroyd, and Eddie Murphy. Go watch that. People ruin people's lives just because they get their rocks off. It's fun. It's weird. I've had a lot of people do some weird, twisted stuff to me just because they could. It's bizarre. You don't hurt people. You just don't hurt people. You don't cause harm. You don't, because whatever you put out there, it comes back. So you just don't do that. Anyway, I got so far off track. The epiphany I had today, and why I called today's talk Phoenix. When I was 15, no, I was junior high. I was younger than that. I was at Cheyenne Shover's house, and you called and said, you got to come home. Your dad was in an accident. So I went home, and we called, and I remember hearing all, talking, we were calling Grandma and Grandpa at the hospital. And he had been in there a month. He had been in there near a month already. Now what had happened is he was 100 miles outside of Phoenix, Arizona. He was a truck driver, walking around his truck, checking the lines, making sure they were, secure and things like that. And evidently, whoever loaded the truck, there were covert pipes, those big tin pipes that go under roads that streams pass through. Now it's just all concrete now, but it used to be those tin pipes. I don't know, they still have them, I guess. But then they had smaller ones inside, and each one, there's 3 on them. So a total of 6 pipes, because each one had a smaller one. And each one weighed a ton and a quarter, 2,500 pounds. And he grabbed one line, and the line snapped. And he was just and then that was it. He didn't remember anything for weeks after that. The trucks, all of them, I think one went on the other side, but 2 rolled over him. So one rolled over him, crushed him, and then the other one, boom, boom, got him again. Right? His head, I remember seeing I don't remember how I think I was looking through stuff. I always look through stuff. I'm Scorpio moon. I'm an investigator. So I remember seeing an x-ray, and it was crack, crack, crack. It was 3, he had his head injury, they were and that's why they waited a month for them to call us, because they didn't know if he was going to die. And in one of these photo albums, I can't remember which one, I have pictures of him, and he's sitting there, and he has one leg flat because his hip was crushed on one side, and on his other side his femur was crushed. So he was like laying there like with his knee bent on one leg, and then his other leg was flat, and he had his arm behind his bed, and he was sitting up, and he had his hair was short still because they had to shave his head to address all the head injuries, and he's just grit. He just you could see him because he did all that without pain pills and medications and stuff like that, right? I mean, the stock that I come from, man, I'm just me being me. Just me being me. Anyway, so because he's had trouble with addictions and stuff. I get it from him, and so it's just better to stay out of trouble, right? So he didn't want to get hooked on drugs, so he didn't do none of that, right? So the helicopter came when the pipes rolled off and took him to a hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. And that's where they were when they called. And then they took him on an ambulance ride from Phoenix to Santa Barbara, where he was in there for a rehab center, and then ultimately went to live with his parents for a year because he was in a wheelchair for freaking like months. I got pretty good in a wheelchair. I could do wheelies, and then I was showing off for these people in Lulu's parking lot in Bellevue, Nebraska, doing wheelies, and I was doing it like on a hill backwards. Bad idea. Went back, freaking smacked my head. It was so lame. Anyway, it was freezing ass cold. It was just they cracked up. They had a good time. I don't know. If I saw somebody do what I did, I wouldn't have laughed until I would have made sure they were okay. I'm different though. That's just me. People don't care about people, man. They just don't. Anyway, so Phoenix, Arizona, number 1. Rise of the Phoenix. I was going to look that up earlier. Check out this wackadoo. So people are worried about freaking... Everybody's worried about a man being a man. Check out that. I mean, that's like... And he did... I'm not even gonna... He did some weird... He kidnapped a woman and he freaking burned her with the torch. I mean... Ma, this is what society's turning into, because everybody goes around and does whatever they want.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? Okay. So, who's crying? So, it's probably Artie Pants. Rise of the Phoenix meaning. Phoenix number rebirth. Christianity is really? They're claiming it, huh? Adopted the depiction of the phoenix rising from the ashes as symbol of rebirth and eternal life. The classical mythical imagery and symbolism of resurrection of life, reborn, anew, transformed, resonated with the Christian story. All right, that's what this one says, right? In spirituality, the phoenix spirit animal symbolizes hope, rebirth, and transformation. The phoenix also has associations with several other symbols. All of these symbols represent different aspects of this mythical bird. The first symbol is fire. The phoenix can rise from the ashes, which represents the power of transformation. So Dad had his brush with the phoenix resurrection many years ago. And then fast forward to 2000, I don't know, I can't remember. And then Mom was always been so close-lipped about stuff. It's kind of, it's hard to put stuff together too, but I'm finding stuff in papers because I'm going through stuff that we just need to let go of that no longer serves us. Just clean up room and stuff, lighten the load. And letters from her mom that wrote that, that when her dad was declining in 2000, right? We have his flag. We have his flags in there. You want me to bring it out here? I will. From his service, from being a veteran. They fold up the flag and give it to you. It's in there. Well, anyway, and then her mom died shortly after her papa died, I believe. I'm still putting it together. And they were the people that adopted her. And he took real good care of her when she was young, and she had all of her surgeries and stuff. Anyway, and would rub her feet. And so and she likes to, I know it's a place of comfort and a time of comfort for her, because she mentions it still to this day whenever I soak her feet and rub her feet and change her socks and stuff. So people just like to be cared for. That's all. They just want to be taken care of sometimes. They just wanted someone to do for them, for stuff that they're just tired and they can't do for themselves. That's all. People just need a break. And so both of her parents, when they went on to heaven, they both lived in Mesa, Arizona, which is right out of Phoenix. So they resurrected from Phoenix. So that's the brush with Phoenix experience number 1 and 2 and the thing of it is you got my dad, right, who had his accident, and then you had my mom's adopted parents, on the opposite side. They also died in Phoenix. And then my sister Jessica, September 23rd 2022, died in a motorcycle accident. Somebody said that Phoenix is like the highest rate of motorcycle deaths of any place in the United States. I don't know if that's true or not. It impacted my life in a big way. Anyway, so my sister, my dear sweet sister, she resurrected from. I had to actually call someone and say, you know what? When I was when I was coming into this realization, I said, it's just better that I didn't go to Jessica's memorial service. So there's evidently some, and I have this ±2 rule. That I believe that we are tied, our spirits, our electricity that makes us go, our soul, all of it, us, we are tied to this earth karmically and magnetically, and things that cosmically or happen. Like, we're drawn to places. Like my latitude and longitude, I was born on 34.13 latitude. I ended up on latitude 40 degrees latitude, 30, and then Omaha, about 39, 40. The 40 latitude is very significant in my life. And 33 ±2. And Phoenix is 33. And I'm like, oh. And I live ±2 from that now. It's like we're supposed to be. Everybody ends up where they're supposed to be magnetically. Everything's woo-woo, man. I'm so tired. My whole life I hear about people that say, oh, it's really metaphysical and it's really outworldly, but it's not woo-woo. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? What the hell does that mean? That's stupid. I don't even know. Everything's woo-woo, man. So evidently our lineage has our on both sides has some sort of wild attunement with the 33rd parallel. Thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. I didn't need to go back, And she's buried in the same, she got cremated, so her ash, I will never have to go to Phoenix to see her. She's not even there. Her remains aren't even there. They're in a mausoleum where my grandparents and where my dad will ultimately be, in a Atascadero. Atascadero in Spanish means little mud hole. How about, this is kind of weird. There's a 19-room hospital in Atascadero. It might be just like an office building at this point. My dad was born there. And then what, 21, 20, however old he was when you guys had Jerry? 23? He was 23?
Yeah.
Jerry was born in the same hospital. How trippy is that? That doesn't happen very often,
No.
that fathers and sons are born in the same hospital. Or even mothers and daughters. The story of our life, everybody has a story to their life. And there's so many people out here on this planet that the stories to their life are just so remarkable. Yet still people are stuck in their loop and they still continue to go back and watch the same stuff over and over and over again. They keep remaking movies and they just keep watching those. The world's changing, man. The world is definitely it is changing so fast every day. But not where I live. I don't think things have changed much around here for quite some time. I think things will be a lot better when people can go back down to the bridge. Man, people are hurting with that bridge, but they're redoing the whole bridge. They're rebuilding the whole bridge down at the John Dunn Bridge. Look it up online, man. Come on down, we'll hang out. I'll show you around. So, I just thought that was kind of interesting. That to have it, a place that I've been there a couple times. I never really thought much about PHX. I've flown in there a couple times. My grandparents live there in Pine Top, Arizona, up in the mountains. And then we had our experience in Flagstaff. I think we were just there to freaking wrap up our cosmic karmic ties, whatever that is, Now we're here, and then we end up like 10, 12 miles from where mom, a reported first cousin of mom's from Ancestry. I mean, that makes for some pretty good storytelling. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day.